Hey guys, Mikado here. As many of you probably already know, Doomfist just came out on PTR, and I'm super excited for it. I haven't even watched the developer update yet or the new cinematic trailer. When he came out, I actually just jumped straight into practice range, so this will be my first time actually watching the origin story. Super excited for this hero. You know, everyone thought this was the hero that was going to come out when Orisa came out, so I think this is like what we've all been waiting for, you know, myself included.
Those who fall will be forgotten. Those who rise up, their names will be remembered forever.
I think that was like the best cutscene for like any of these new heroes that I've seen. I just wonder like how representative that will be of like his actual abilities. I've only messed around with him for like a couple minutes. So for me personally, one thing that I like to look at when I consider like the viability of a hero is the actual model size of the hero. So for heroes like Bastion and Orisa, I think this might be one of the reasons that they struggle a bit when it comes to competitive play is like their hitboxes are just so big. So like I see Doomfist has 250 HP. He actually is tied for Reaper, I guess, with the most HP of any offensive hero. But I believe his hitbox, his hitbox is pretty big. So my first concern with that is heroes like D.Va and Tracer, who are like really popular right now in the dive meta that you see on ladder a lot and in pro games. That makes me kind of wonder, you know, how effective he's going to be versus these heroes because they're seen a lot. You can do like a two-part combo, I think some of the guys were saying. So like if you shift, it puts you straight up and you can hit your E while you're in the air. Your E, I think they call it seismic slam. It's you leap forward and smash the ground, so it creates like a shockwave effect. I don't think it stuns or anything like that. It's just kind of a light nuke, and it looks like it actually pulls them in slightly. So I guess the classic Doomfist combo is going to be uppercut into E.
Let's look at some of the combos. You have the one where you can just like flick them up in the air, and then you can find another target and do that, and then like smash them in to another wall, I guess. I think like, so we have like this kind of, you have like this kind of combo here where you can flick them up and then fist them away. But it's gonna, like this character is gonna require ridiculous cooldown discipline. Like if you mess up, like say you mess up your fist and then you go flying through like a Reinhardt charge, now you've kind of got your back to you, got to turn around. But if you like mess up and you're not patient and your positioning's bad, you're gonna get like punished really hard, especially by like, the pros are gonna punish each other pretty hard with this hero. But when you're in practice range, you don't really think about like, you know, does this synergize well with other heroes? Like what's it going to be like with jumping in with the Winston? So you come in, the Winston dives, you find a target, they get disrupted, and then you just punch them away. Can it cause D.Va a lot of problems actually, because none of this can be matrixed. I can see her getting, you know, she's a big hitbox, right? So that right clicks can be pretty easy to hit on her.
To me personally, he looks like a really strong dive hero. I don't know how good he's going to be at counter diving or peeling. His right click makes me think he'd be really good at maybe disengaging from a D.Va or Winston, especially if he hits him into a wall. It looks like it does a lot of damage. I don't think this hero would be like super good as like on like a 4 DPS dive comp or like a triple DPS dive comp on defense. But on offense, I think if you really, you know, executed well, you had really good burst, and you just were really good about focusing the same targets, I think you could run him, you know, on offense instead of a Zenyatta. But on defense, I don't know if you'd want to give up like a Winston or a D.Va. Both of those heroes just are so important by themselves. You know, I haven't even looked at the ult yet. I think it looks kind of like Falling Sword from Diablo 3. It like lifts you up in the air. So can I move? I can move around in this. Zoom out. Holy shit.
But that was my shift and E and I'm up here. That's pretty far. Not many heroes can do that. Shift up in the air, they're all in a big group, turn around. It's so satisfying just slamming someone into a wall. This is actually a good place to test the ultimate actually. Right, so if you go like that, and then you right click. Oh shit. That's OP. I like that you can do that though. Like it's not did you see that with the E? You're in the air, and then you can kind of like change direction after you start the animation, which is nice. It kind of gives you, doesn't punish you too much because that could be BS. Like you could read someone's movements and then they could die, or like just something could happen, and then you just dedicate a cooldown, so you get the chance to actually kind of change which direction you're going from. He'll be used in different ways. It's like Winston's seen better as an offensive tank, right? But we can use him on defense equally as effectively. Just it's all about positioning. Like you wouldn't want to stand in the choke like this, right? Firing, you're going to be. Oh shit! It's got nano boosted. I'll take that. Rip Zarya. See, like there, you're in a grab. Like just get out of the grab straight away. Dead. Like you can just escape. Like that's another hero that can escape from grabs. Like how broken is that? Actually, yeah, no, that's the thing. Actually, with his ultimate, you will have the audio cue, so you will know to like not group up if there is no visual cue for like when he's ulting. But the HP, like I'm never actually really dipping below 250, right? It's not shield as such. It's over HP. It's not like Zarya's shields, right? Zarya's shields can be regenerated. Whereas Doomfists aren't really shields, it's just him overhealing himself. The way I think you would play him is you kind of would, as soon as your abilities are up, you can just continue to engage afterwards. But while you're fighting, like here, I engaged, I now have time to kind of like sit back and use my left. And now my abilities are back up again, and then I just regain that HP. Obviously, if you're getting focused down, you're probably going to lose HP faster, but I can see him pubs, like if he gets ignored, then he's just going to continue to snowball. But tanks are gonna hate this guy. Like actually, again, Zarya there, right? Just imagine this guy just flying over the top with a Zarya bubble on him. We find a hero to hit, that's 400 HP, you're maxed out, and then bang, you can just snowball that. Like just keep using your ultimates to engage and just like keep moving around. Like I'm not dropping below 200 now. Fair enough, they're focusing me down, but if you like, yeah, if you're comboing all of that, then chances are you're gonna snowball. You're gonna snowball the game and snowball your HP. So he'll have to be dealt with pretty fast.
But the thing I'm most concerned about with Doomfist is a lot of his abilities go through things like D.Va's defense matrix, and that's kind of been like one of your best tools to keep like your supports alive in a lot of cases, or even like your Winston. Almost all of Doomfist's damage, except for his left click, actually, none of it can be blocked by defense matrix, and I think this is like something that maybe not a lot of people thought about just when they saw the hero for the first time. His uppercut does 50 damage. That can't be blocked by defense matrix. His E, his little shockwave that also pulls in, you can't block that either. It does 50 damage. So just those two abilities alone are going to do 100 damage. And to supports, you know, that's a lot of HP. To his Zenyatta, that's half of his HP. To Lucio, you know, that's half of his HP. And that's not even including his right click, right? You know, uppercut, rocket punch into them. He might be able to uppercut them into the air, then rocket punch them. There's just so many like cool combos I think this hero can do that will really allow him to do a lot of burst damage. But as far as like the top level ladder scene and like professional scene go, I think a couple of us are worried that this hero might be like more of what we're already experiencing. When Orisa came out, the game wasn't too focused on triple tank anymore. And that's like, I think what Orisa was all about was like really slow triple or quad tank games. Whereas Doomfist is like the exact opposite. Orisa was released when the meta couldn't really, you know, adapt to her, or she couldn't really adapt to the meta. She wasn't playable. But with Doomfist, I feel like he's released at a time where he'd be really viable, and he's going to be really scary. You know, I'm really excited to see where this hero can go, even if the meta is perpetuated, you know, by Doomfist's release. You know, it's always exciting to get a new hero, and you know, I think we've all been waiting for, you know, a new hero that's really impactful, you know, like Ana. Sombra, when she was released, didn't have that much impact. We're starting to see her played more now. Orisa, we haven't really seen what she can do. We haven't really, you know, played with her that much. We just don't think, you know, she's a super strong hero. But with Doomfist, you know, this kid is awesome. He just does so many cool things. You can punch your enemies into walls. You have like Falling Sword from Diablo 3, uppercut. You know, it's just so cool. You can shoot bullets out of your knuckles. Like, who doesn't want that? But yeah, I think he won't really change the dive meta that much. He might become a part of it. He might not. You know, we'll see. Thanks for watching.